So, good morning. So, for now, we'll proceed with the lesson 5, which all about the verbal language in communication. So, here are the four objectives that you will be able to learn at the end of the lesson. So, we have to define or differentiate the two languages, which are the verbal language and the nonverbal language. Verbal language is a system of spoken and written words, while nonverbal language is a communication without words. So for now, we will focus on verbal language. So verbal language is a system of sounds and symbols which are utilized to communicate ideas and feelings. That is to better understand verbal language. So we have here the features of verbal language. The first one is language is a system. So when we say language is a system, so that is uh, system is a group of elements or parts that move or work together. So with that we have three subsystems, namely first the sounds, the words, and the manner in which sounds and words are organized. So these three must be intermingled together to form a language, of course. So we need sounds, and then sounds reproduce words, and then of course the manner in which sounds and words are organized. So when we have this three subsystem, so we will obtain this system of language. So next, language is symbolic. So a symbol is an action, event, or something that expresses, represents, or stands for something else, or a particular idea or quality. Words are symbols for notions, actuations, bits and pieces, and feelings. So ano ba tong language symbolic class? So for instance, a house is a word, diba? Usually, when we hear the word house, so that is a word that stands for something you dwell in, diba? Doon ka nakatira. So the word house, of course, is not the object. If we will focus in this language is symbolic, we will not say that the house is the object, diba? So we will represent that house into object, diba? Like what? Kasi magkaiba 'di ba yung house and home. So for now we will focus in house. So the word house of course is not the object, 'di ba? Nagre-represent lang po siya sa object. Okay, so did you get it? Kasi when from the word symbolic, 'di ba? Root word is symbol. Symbolizes the house symbolizes the object. The house represents the object. Okay? So, symbolic. So, another example class, if you are reading a story, diba? So, meron doong mga symbolic object, diba, na nag-represent for the value that you will learn at the end of the story. For example, yung fire. So, fire also is an object, pero nagre-represent siya doon sa object. Siya yung representative or the symbol. So with that symbol in a story, we can use that one in a story to emphasize the value that you will learn in that story, diba? So not only in literal, but literal meaning of that thing, pero yung symbol niya, ano yung symbolize of that thing, okay? So language is conventional. Conventional means accepted or used by most people. Okay, so usually this conventional is has been around for a long time and is considered to be usual and typical lang siya. So, lagi siyang ginagamit. So, native and non-native speakers of English language accepted the word pen or pencil to stand for a particular object that write with. So, if you call a pen a gork, diba, others will not understand what you're talking about. Kasi usually, ang alam natin yung pen. Diba yung gork, hindi naman natin alam na synonym din yun ng pen. Gork, G-O-R-K. So, words in a language communicate meanings simply because most people who use the particular language recognize specific meanings for specific words. Okay. So, that is all about language is conventional. Okay, so let's move on with language is learned. The children absorb the language of their culture. So the process of learning the language follows general guidelines and principles. So, natututunan naman talaga ng mga bata yun, di ba, na-absorb nila. So, usually, in a culture, so children learn and observe their, the L1, di ba, or the mother tongue. So, kasi yun yung unang language nila, natututunan nila. And then, when they go to the classroom or they will study na, so, they will learn the L2, the international language, the English, diba? And also the Filipino language. So, kasi in Philippines, we are using the first mother tongue. So, mga bata ngayon, pero kasi ngayon sa panahon ngayon, yung mga bata pa lang sila, tinuturo na yung English language, which is wrong. For me lang wrong yun kasi dapat talaga mother tongue mo muna bago nila i-absorb yung English language or the international language. O dapat nga, kung halimbawa na hindi sila gagamit ng mother tongue or ng dialect nila, so dapat yung Filipino language na lang, di ba? National language natin. Kasi, mahihirapan kasi mag-absorb yung bata during the lesson in the class. Diba? Kaya nga, if you will observe, most children are, it takes time for them to study the Filipino language. Kasi nga, una natutunan agad yung international language. So, dapat, little by little lang siya, step by step. Hindi yung doon sila agad sa English language. Diba? Kasi hindi nila ma-absorb yung other language. So, doon na sila mag-focus sa English language lang. Okay? So, that is language is learned. So, next, language changes. The English language is continually varying. The connotations of words change, and new meanings are given to words. Of course, nagbabago naman talaga yung language natin, di ba, class, from time to time. So, meron dadagdag. Actually, marami na nadagdag sa vocabulary ngayon eh. So, the more words you know and use, the better you will be at interacting both spoken and written messages. Of course, so mas marami kang alam, mas lamang ka. Okay? So, kung mahilig ka magbasa, if you're a bookworm, so mas lamang po yung mahilig magbasa. Because they know more words and the meaning of words. Okay? So, they can easily adapt to the changes kasi they know anything about language, especially its meanings, the grammar, the spellings, okay? And the connection of words and how to form the sentences correctly. So next, Effective use of language enhances proficiency in learning communication rules. So what are those? These are followed by language syntax. So every language has set of rules that governs its structure. These structural rules are called as language syntax. Okay, so itong language syntax, these structural rules uh, as a guidelines for merging sounds into words and words into sentences. So, di ba may words, and then that words will be merged into, I mean, we merge the sounds, di ba? And then after that, that sounds will be merged into words and words into sentences. So that is the establish of rules that explain how words are used in a language is called grammar. Okay? So from sounds into words and into sentences. So in that way, we can apply this language syntax. Kasi nga yung sinasabi dito na language syntax has a set of rules that governs its structures. Okay, so next sa semantics naman tayo, language semantics. So semantics deals with the study of the meanings of words and phrases in language, or the meanings of words and phrases in a particular context. So each word has its own specific meaning. So meaning is communicated through both a word's denotation and connotation. So ano ba yung kaibahan ng denotation sa connotation class? So when we say denotation, so that is a word that we can find in the dictionary or the lexical meaning. So, yung denotation, kung ano yung meaning niya sa dictionary, so kung ano yung meaning ng word sa dictionary, so yun yung tinatawag nating denotation. Pag connotation naman class is a word that has hidden meaning. Okay? The often prevailing feelings and associations that the word arouses. So yung connotation, so that is in your own feelings, di ba, and association, yung understanding mo of the words in your own perception. Okay? So, from the denotation, binigyan mo siya ng meaning for your own perspective. Diba? Nanggaling sa sarili mo. Hindi ka lang nagbase dun sa dictionary. Okay, so yun yung kaibahan ng denotation sa connotation. So next, guidelines for presenting the best possible you before the crowd. So we have 4. So number 1, use words sensibly. So if you are not certain about the meaning of the word, pwede mo siyang i-search yung meaning of the word na yun sa dictionary, di ba? Before you use it in speaking or in writing. So ngayon, madali na lang ang dictionary. So hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng aklat ng cellphone. Meron na basta may load ka lang, di ba? Pwede ka rin mag-download ng app para kahit wala kang data or load, so ma-access mo yun, yung dictionary anytime you go. Everywhere you go, I mean. Okay. So number 2, comprehend the connotations of words. So, knowing the lexical or dictionary meaning of the word is not enough. It is necessary that you are familiar with what it operationally suggests. The feelings and associations use words that may solicit the feedback you want from your listeners. So, di ba na-discuss natin kanina yung denotation and connotation? So, sinasabi dito sa comprehend the connotation of words is huwag ka lang magdepende sa denotation or sa meaning of words in the dictionary. Dapat alam mo rin yung connotation nito. Kung paano siya gamitin in a connotation way. So, dapat alam mo yung operational suggest. Like the feelings and associations of that words. Diba? Kasi magagamit mo yun siya to solicit the feedback you want from your listeners. Diba? Mas maintindihan nila yun if you will use both. So number 3, use language that is suitable to the communication framework. So as a speaker, it is your responsible to know and respond to the expectations of your listeners. So kapag formal situations, of course, you need to use the standard language, diba? Pag sa specified or occupational situations naman, pwede kang gumamit ng jargon or technical term, diba? When your listeners understands it. So yung mga technical term, for example, you are attending in a medical, diba? Sa medical, mission. Dapat alam yung mga technical terms doon kasi sa bawat occupational situations or occupation, may mga kanya-kanyang technical term yan. Sa lawyer, iba. Sa teachers, iba. Sa, sa engineers, iba rin yan. O, diba? So, iba-iba po yan. Kaya, you must know the technical term or you may use jargon. Sa informal situations naman, or informal or slang, you can use that one. Dialects, so depende. Vernaculars may be suitable than standard language. So, kasi kapag informal, di ba, you don't need to be formal. So, pwede kung dialect naman yung ginagamit ng kausap mo, if you know the dialect, you can use also their dialect or your dialect as long as they understand you also. So, last one, enrich your language. So, use your verbal and nonverbal language skills to study the various ways used by the effective speakers and writers when they communicate. So, dito nakafocus tayo sa verbal, pero mas maganda pa rin class kung if you will use both verbal and non-verbal language skills to communicate. Diba? Kasi on that way, magiging effective speakers and writer ka. Okay, so that's all for the lesson 5. Okay, so we have here the subsystems of language codes. So first one is the phonology. So this is the branch of language concerned with the orderly association of sounds in language. So phonology is a brand of linguistics. So ito naman is concerned with the orderly association of sounds. 'Di ba? Yung mga phonemes yan. So we will tandaan nyo lang ang association of sounds, itong phonology. The semantics naman, so this is from the Greek word semantics, which means the study of meaning in language. So na-discuss na rin natin to kanina, 'di ba? Semantics, yung meaning of words or meaning of language. So next, the syntactics naman, that is pertains to the arrangement of words and phrases to form a structured sentence in a language. So, di ba meron tayong words and phrases? So, that is the arrangement of words and phrases for you to form a well-structured sentence in a language. So, ito mga pragmatics is studies the way in which context contributes to the meaning. So, ito is a different level or dice high level na siya kasi you already having this context which contributes to the meaning. Okay, so that's all for the lesson 5. Thank you very much for listening.